How's it going, guys? In this video, we're gonna be doing some really awesome action water effects in toy photography. Okay, and here we are. This is just a nice little watery area by me, and I got a nice little spot just for me to shoot here. And I'm sure you guys might remember this if you watched my winter video. Last time I was here, it was quite frozen and a lot less liquid than it is right now. So that's good, because I want it to be liquid. I'm just gonna set up and take a couple shots. Let's do some watery shots today. So my main goal today is to take some awesome watery shots, of course, and one of the main things about shooting with water is light, plenty of light. And right now it's kind of overcast. I thought it was gonna be a little bit sunnier, but maybe it'll get sunnier later on, but it's kind of overcast right now, but there's still plenty of light going on, so that is gonna be great. So basically, when you're shooting and you wanna get nice crisp water, one of the things that's really important is a very, very fast shutter speed with your camera. And so I'm gonna be shooting with a very, very fast shutter speed. And that's usually around, like, I like to do like 1,000 or more. So 1,000 plus. So if you can get to like 4,000, great. But usually you need a lot more light to do about 4,000. So we'll see if I can get around that area. And those are really the main things with water shots. So really, as long as you have a lot of light and you're shooting with a very fast shutter speed, you can pretty much get that awesome splash effect. And usually when you have that awesome splash effect going on in your photo, that's what really can sell motion and action and really make it look like stuff is moving around. So that's really the plan for today, is to do that. So one other major thing really to think about with your camera and your settings when you're shooting, so yeah, the shutter speed is number one when you want that crisp water thing. But also when you have your f-stop, your aperture, that can really affect how the water looks in your photo too. So if you have your f-stop down nice and low, so I have this down to 2.5 on this one, and I think f2.5 is gonna be quite good for what I want. And that will also bring more light into your photo when you're at f2.5. So if you're down low, a lot of the water effects in the background might turn into some really nice looking bokeh, which is really cool. And I love that bokeh, especially when there's lots of light shining through that water. It's really gonna look like some awesome, awesome bokeh. And so also if you end up turning it down, so let's say 5.6 or something, that's still relatively low and at a good spot, but a lot more of the water around you will look a lot more crisp and watery and not so much out of focus. So then in that case, less bokeh, but more crisp water all the way around. The lower you go, f2.5, you get a little more bokeh in the background with your water, especially when light's coming in, but around the focus of your subject, you're gonna still get some nice crisp water. And that's probably what I'm gonna do. I kinda like nice crisp water in the foreground with my character, and then having some nice out of focus, probably maybe a little bit of bokeh water behind, and I like that. So that's what I'm gonna do first. So to achieve the actual water splash and kind of get that splash effect, there's so many ways to do it. And really, it could be as simple as just taking your hand and doing a little bit of a splash, or it could be using a hose, or it could be using one of these things, which I'll get into, or it could be, you know, anything at all. It could be opening up a soda can and getting a splash of fizz or something. And so all of these techniques I'm gonna be doing today with the splashes, it can be used with any type of liquid. So yeah, all these water shots, the garden hose, if you got one, I'm gonna be doing some of those later on. All of these techniques I'm using with just this kind of water can be used with anything involving liquid, really. And it's pretty similar to all of just the normal practical effects I do in general, similar to one of the previous videos I put out. So the first photo I'm gonna do today is gonna bring me back to my roots. I've just got a couple of stormtroopers, oh yeah, and I'm just gonna kind of set them up near the water, partially in the water, in a nice running pose like they're in a battle. And I'm gonna make a splash just with my hands, and I'm gonna get a really nice looking splash. And that's pretty much it. It's gonna be very, very simple, but hopefully it will look cool. Okay, so I got my troopers all set up here. You can see them right here. There's this guy. I've had this guy for a very long time. but I got them all propped up with wires. And if you're curious on what wire I'm using in all of the gear, like the tripod, any of this stuff, I have everything linked in the description below of the video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold my remote with one hand and take a bunch of photos real fast, shutter speed real nice. I'll share my settings here below. And then with my other hand, I'm just gonna splash a bunch of water like this. And that's it. That's literally all I'm gonna do. And we'll see what kind of cool splash effect it looks like in the photo. So yeah, here we go. So it's starting to get a little bit more sunlight over here. So what I did was I actually grabbed my light reflector here. And if you can see, if you ever want more light, see how that's reflecting off onto here, onto the trooper? Like, look at that. See how that's going off like that? Really, really valuable. So cheap. These things are like $20 or less probably. So definitely go in the description of the video if you want one of these for sure. And that helped out a lot. And so I think I got some pretty good shots of these guys. It looks very much like a gritty war scene. So here we go. This is how it came out. Okay, so for my next shot, I'm actually gonna use this thing. And what this is a BAM air drain blaster. It's used for unclogging toilets, stuff like that. But it's a big air gun. It's really great. I've used it plenty of times before. I'm sure you've seen it. But this can make a really cool kind of specific circular looking splash. And I'm gonna try and do something with this. And I think I have an idea with Aquaman, having him jump out of the water with this perfect little circular splash all around him is jumping. And I think that will be perfect for this. So I'm gonna set up Aquaman and I'm gonna take the shot. Okay, so I've got Aquaman all set up here. Got my camera going long ways. And so I've got him actually set up on some wooden skewer things. Those are so incredibly handy with toy photos. I'll have that linked in the description below. And if you're interested in how I remove these in Photoshop and editing afterwards, just make sure to check out the editing playlist I have also linked here as well. It's super helpful. Basically with this thing, I just pump it the heck up. And once it's pumped up, just let it rip. And we get a nice little splash. And you can see it makes a perfect little circular kind of splash in the water. So hopefully I can kind of capture that, but right underneath Aquaman, just like that. And yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot here. Right now the clouds have really come out, so I bet you the lighting will be quite boring in this photo, but I think we can still get a really cool splash. So yeah, let's go for it and take the shot. So I think I'm just about all set with the shots that I'm gonna take here in this location. I think the sun is gonna come out pretty soon, so I'm gonna head back home and then we can take some shots with the garden hose and using water when we don't have an area like this. But first, before we do that, I do need to talk about the sponsor of this video, which is thankfully my friends at Western Rise. So I don't know about you guys, but I've always been kind of like a jeans kind of wearing guy, and even when I am wearing jeans, I wasn't always necessarily comfortable, or they weren't stretchy enough to do the things that I wanted to do. But that's been basically until I was introduced to Western Rise, which is the best company ever. Their motto is for men who do more but own less, which is perfect for me because you could basically just own one pair of pants that look really awesome, and that's good. You're good because they're durable and they'll last you forever. And I can get into all these toy photography contortionist positions. I'm always bending my legs, and you know, they'll never rip. They'll last forever. They're cool looking, and I feel really cool, and they look really cool. I love the khaki color. I'm a big fan of that. So right now they're actually having this like biggest sale of the year, which is crazy, and I have a discount code to get like 25% off below, which is fantastic. Like literally do yourself a favor, go to westernrise.com, use the discount code and get yourself something really awesome and look cool. Like I've been looking cool, so you know. Alright, so I just got home and it looks like the sun is starting to come out again, which is really great. So let's see how we can create some toy photography with some cool water effects, but not having access to, you know, a big water area like I did back there. You know, using the hose using just water at home, whatever you got. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, so I'm gonna do a shot here, and it's gonna be all with a bunch of rain. And I know it's a sunny day, but the rain with the sunny day is gonna work out great because the more light, like I said, the more light, the better the water effects will show up in the photo. So that's why I'm using this beautiful sunny day right now. So what I'm gonna do is actually use my hose to spray a bunch of water in the air to make it look like rain, and it's gonna look great. Another thing you could also use for rain, of course, is just a simple spray bottle. But I like using my hose because I got all kinds of different fixtures on the nozzle and everything, so that's what I'm going to use to get the water effect. But this is what I got going on in the scene. So I have a bunch of water Pokemon sitting here loving the rain, but Charmander is also here in the rain, but he can't get wet because we don't want his tail to go out. So Ash is holding an umbrella for him, which is very kind, so very nice of him. So that's what's going on in this photo, and so pretty much it's all set up. And I'm just gonna spray the water, and that will be the next thing for the photo. And so I'm gonna shoot with a very fast shutter speed. The faster shutter speed you're able to use, the more crisp your rain drops will look. The slower you end up using it, the more long, elongated water droplets will look. And so if you're into that effect, then you can turn it down a little bit and slow the speed up, and so you can get those long, elongated raindrops. But I want those nice crisp ones, so I'm going to turn it up all the way. And with all this nice bright sunlight, I'm going to have the opportunity to crank it up all the way. So I'll share my settings for the photo here too, but I think I'm ready to take the shot, so let's go. And also what I'm using for the umbrella is just one of those basic toothpick umbrella things, which are so cute and they work perfect for toy photography. And if you're wondering what kinds of Pokemon figures I'm using, yeah, there's a lot of different figures from a lot of different brands here. We got SHFiguarts, we've got Jazzwares, and we've even got some scale model world stuff going on. So I'll have all the information for which figures they are in the description of the video, of course, along with all the other gear I'm using. Everything will be in there. So, okay, now I'm ready to take the shot. Okay, so I think I got the shot, and my camera is pretty dry right now. As long as you're keeping your distance, you're being careful and not totally soaking your camera with water. And even if you get a little bit on there, just wipe it up afterwards. You should be good. Just don't, completely submerge your camera. You'll be good. But there's always that chance, so make sure to be careful. The question I get most often too is, does the water affect your figures? I've been squirting water and getting my figures wet for years now, and I have not had any problems so far. So as far as I'm concerned, yeah, they're definitely safe to get them as wet as you would like. So now that I've got Blastoise out here, I wonder if I can take a shot with the hose where it looks like he's shooting water like directly out of his cannons. I did a shot like that a long time ago, and I wonder if I could do another quick one like that, see if it still looks awesome. I'm gonna give it a shot. So to get a little bit more precision, I'm actually just gonna use a water bottle, old water bottle with a hole on top, which is gonna give me a little bit of squirtage. I think that will help with my aim a little bit when I'm trying to squirt at the cannons on Blastoise. So yeah, that's all. This is literally all I'm using to get water effects. That's how easy this can be, especially on a beautiful day like this. So yeah, I'm gonna take this shot now. All right, you guys, I think that's all for me. I hope this video was helpful. If you ever have any questions about water effect, anything, you know what to do. Find me on Instagram. I'm at Sirdork730. Send me a message. We're almost on our way to like 40,000 subscribers, which is incredible. So thank you guys again for everything. Seriously, you guys are the best. And if you're not subscribed yet, please do so. That would be super helpful. Thank you so much. And yeah, have a great day. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one.